we are going to be planting some seeds. I'm going to be planting some flowers, some seedlings, and some seeds. It is almost the full moon, and they say it is best to plant seeds right before the full moon. Right, y'all, so welcome to our garden. These are our 2 garden boxes that we use at our mummy's house, also known as Grammy. And let me show you what we have planted and how it's going so far. I started to prioritize learning skills and creating with these skills. Some of these skills have been learning about the plant medicine around us, and depending on what we already have before buying something new. Gardening is a practice of being resourceful. Since we are on a budget, we already don't have a large budget for items like a new compost bin. However, it makes us more connected to the items we do have and the community to outsource what we can't find for free. But also times we can find free items within community as well, or our neighbors. And I have been prioritizing eating seasonally and incorporating these foods into our favorite meals. For example, we love a fresh cabbage salad. Some call it coleslaw. We also have been eating a lot of asparagus in most dishes, or just cooked on the side, and my son actually eats it. One of the few vegetables that he actually eats. After reading the book Animal Vegetable Miracle, it has motivated me to be more conscious of where and what foods we buy. I am planning to prepare for winter season by preserving local foods and fruits, by freezing, making preserves, and using the air dryer. And this is something I feel like we can all do even if we don't have access to a garden or land. And now this is the other part of the conversation. We are on our way to harvest, forage some lilac flowers. I would like to make some simple syrup to add to like cocktails and beverages, maybe some baking. I don't know, but I want to get to know her more. So let's go visit the lilac bush. That for those that don't have land or don't own a house, we are also apartment renters. We don't have access to land, and sometimes this can be challenging. However, we try to get outside in parks or by water whenever we can. And by speaking of prioritizing learning new skills, one of those skills have been foraging and learning the plants around us. And this has helped us get more nutrients of foods that are actually local to where we live. We also have a community garden, and my mommy has allowed us to use part of her yard for our 2 garden boxes. That has allowed us to seasonally grow with our plants, as this is our 3rd season with some of these plants like echinacea, strawberries, raspberries, and nettle.
I mean, why are you killing the plants?
John gave us this basil.
Nice. I did plant some basil today.
And what's this, cucumber?
Yeah.
Cucumber, this should go...
There's 1 cucumber and 3 watermelons.
Oh.
3 different types of watermelon.
And what's this?
I think that's the 2 beans. And lift that up. I think there's 2 beans. I'm not sure. I think
beans?
This might, yeah, the running ones.
Oh, nice.
Maybe
so like, we just need some corn.
Yeah.
Can you find some corn?
Corn?
Yeah.
The plant, the yellow plant?
Yeah, you've never heard of it?
We're gonna get
It's called the 3 Sisters.
Beans, corn, and what?
Beans, corn, and pumpkin.
Come, let's
squash. Did you see the mushrooms?
These.
There's mushrooms that came in our seedlings.
They come from the soil.
Oh yeah, the soil. Maybe it means it's healthy, hopefully.
Yeah.
And our green onions. Where's the other tray?
It's in the house.
I also brought some seeds as well. This is mullein, beetroot, lettuce, cover crop, calendula, playtime, calendula orange. I have more calendula, creme de la creme, pak choy. We love pak choy in like a steamed vegetable dish with some saltfish. Real nice. Our lovely little garden boxes are blooming so much. So it is the evening time. I wanted to wait till my husband came home from work because he is more of the expert in this department. So he is here to help us. I wanted my husband to help me with planting because he is good with his hands and has experience with gardening. He also maintains properties and grew pineapples in Jamaica, so has many years of experience working with the land. We both got our hands in the soil while making sure Amir didn't eat any of it. I collected the grass cuttings, weeded and refilled our bucket of tea water that we let marinate with the weeds and grass clippings to feed back into the garden.
We're going to plant at the side. See, at least you still can access here where they're going. You can actually turn in the direction. You can follow and put them back in. I mean, why are you killing the plants?
I am planting tomato seedlings here that are plum tigris, canning tomatoes. I hope I said that right. I had purchased these from the Seedy Saturday event in the early spring, and I plan to preserve a lot of these to make ketchup and barbecue sauces to use for cooking and recipes throughout the winter season.
It down to the side to the leaves. You don't want to leave any of the stem out. You know, because you want to make sure that it's in a good root, because it's going to get dry in one.
Oh, the seeding pod.
See, good thing I said, you will probably see, you know, it go beer. No, it's going to beer. 2 fingers down, 2 fingers down, 2 fingers down. That's good enough. Like this one, make sure you mold it properly, so that it stays up.
Thing. Calendula is something that I use in my herbal practice with herbal baths or in my oil preparations for body butters, body oils. I love the color it gives, and I just love the flower itself. It's so soothing, so vibrant, and I love to be a grower of it. It's so much different too when you grow it yourself rather than getting it like store-bought, because the color and the vibrancy is so much different. So grow some calendula if you have the space. Oh, do-do-do-do.
Yeah, 2 changes. Okay. Spray it down. Look! Stick, look! I guess do it here and stick. I can't press out with it.
So I'm gonna plant these lemon balm seeds, and they're quite small and dainty. So I don't think they should go that deep.
See me stop taking off the leaves. I'm here. No. Why
Yeah, you're wasting when you do that, Papa. Using plants to cure plants. This is going to be some yarrow tea. We're going to use it for our strawberries. It is said that it strengthens fruiting crops from within, helping plants like strawberries prepare for the next flowering period and maintain balance. This is yarrow, and it hasn't blossomed yet, but the blossoms are typically used, but I'm going to use the leaves to make a tea for the garden, specifically for strawberries. It is mentioned that it is good to spray the flowers as it's berrying, so it helps the transition from flower to berry. So, and also it helps with pests, and so I'm going to try it out. And we're also planning to mesh the strawberries. We don't have it yet meshed, but they are flowering quite beautifully, and we want to make sure we can preserve as many berries as we can. So we are going to do the yarrow tea, spray I don't have a spray bottle, so we'll just use a watering can, and we're gonna do it first thing in the morning. So I'm going to brew the tea overnight and just let it sit in water and steep, and then strain it off and dilute it. So y'all, I am starting a compost. I don't have a compost bin or anything, but I'm just starting a pile of like cut grass, weeds, and we're gonna start putting the eggs, coffee grinds, and other little things in it. If y'all have any suggestions, free would be amazing. But anyways, share your budget-friendly ways to compost. This is at the end of the yard, right near the bush, and our nettle patch. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap for tonight. We will be back in the horizon to show you the strawberry spritz and what the garden looks like, because it's almost nightfall. And this is what we accomplished. You can't really see the seedlings because of the grass mulch, but we also planted some watermelon there, our garden tea, our yarrow, mint, and then we put calendula seedlings here. Well, seeds actually. We put the calendula seeds there. We have a seedling there for a friend, and we put the calendula seedlings here. And then we have our motherwort. She's growing big and strong. And then over here would be the calendula seeds, and then we're just a mix of a different variety. So we'll show you what that looks like in a couple weeks from now. Hopefully they bud and blossom, but until the rising. Hi guys, so it is the rising. I just had some breakfast, having a tea. Let me know if you're a tea or coffee person. I have just made like a tea blend that tastes like coffee. I like a creamy coffee sometimes, and caffeine just makes me go a little anxious, so I'm trying to just not consume it as much. And I'm not a decaf drinker, so if I'm gonna get a coffee, I'm gonna get a coffee. Anyways, so we're gonna chat today about what we did in the garden for planting and how we are utilizing biodynamic gardening and learning it. I'm new to it, but I'm gonna share this journey with you. Maybe you can share yours in the comments. Like I showed, the compost is something we're starting, and we need some feedback, like how do we do this sustainably cheap? So what we're gonna do today is spray the strawberry plants with yarrow. I brewed the yarrow last night. Let me set this somewhere. Alright guys, so I picked some yarrow leaves last night since we don't have any flowering buds, and I basically boiled them in the water and turned it off and let them steep overnight, and we are going to spray the strawberry leaves with that today. I don't have a spray bottle yet, so we're just going to use a watering can, but we're going to dilute it down to 1:10 ratio, and whatever I have left I'll probably just water the garden with as well. And this is supposed to help with the flowering and the fruiting of the strawberries. It also is a pest deterrent, so yeah. We will need some composting tips. We have just started a pile of compost, but it is our goal to start composting. Share your bins or what you use, because we want the freest option. Anyways guys, let's get into the garden.
It should be fine now. It's a nice cool day, and I think they should be fine. It's still in the planting season. We're still in the month of May, so nothing you plant now is gonna die.
And it's a full moon.
Thank you. I saw it last night. Did you see it?
No.
I saw it last night. He's ready?
Alright y'all, this is our compost pile, and we're gonna add in the yarrow leaves, and there's an egg in there. Keep it covered.
Alright, y'all, so my husband brought home some watermelon seedlings, and it's our first time growing a melon here. I think we tried, they just never take. So he planted 3 outside of the garden box. We're working with 2 beds, by the way. So this is like our beginner garden, you know, tour. So these are the watermelons, and he cut a hole through the fabric here that we have on the ground as barb to get that ground soft. Our bergamot, also known as bee balm. We have echinacea. A friend gave this to me as a gift for my birth blessing. I'll have to share that with you guys because it was so special.
I had a birth blessing ceremony where I asked all the women in my life to gift me a flower with a prayer or a poem instead of material items. I'm grateful I had this ceremony to ground me and strengthen me for this journey into birth and motherhood, surrounded by the wisdom and strength of God and all the women in my life.
And we have our yarrow. It's really bushy. As my husband said, it's going through its birth, like all of these. We have catnip here. And then I think this is chamomile returning from last year, so I'm just leaving her. And then we have some mint growing here. Mint wanders, y'all. I planted her here, and she's popping up here, which is fine. I'm happy just to have some mint. We keep getting Creeping Charlie, so I'm just taking her out when I see her. I planted some lemon balm in here, so I'm hoping that it comes through. I would like to put it beside the tomatoes. I have a calendula plant I'm gifting someone, and then we have another raspberry bush here and a raspberry bush here that my husband brought home. We have our garden tea. This is like our weed tea, and our yarrow, and we have some peppermint. And over here I planted more calendula seed behind the yarrow and behind the echinacea and bergamot. This is the herbal garden, if you can't tell. We have Violet there. In the last video we talked about her. Viola Orado, I think that's her name. And then our calendula seedlings that we started are wrapping around here where the motherwort is. And then we have the watermelons that we just watered. And these are the watermelons. We have 3. And then we have our dill that we got from my niece's greenhouse. And our strawberry bushes, they are bushy, y'all, but like y'all, you know how strawberries are finicky, and if you replant them, they won't berry for a few years. So we're just gonna leave them and see what happens. Maybe we'll have to do some pruning, but we did water them with the yarrow tea today. And then we have our raspberry bush. I love my raspberry leaf tea, and then we're thinking this season it will fruit for us, because last season it didn't, because it was our first year with it. And that's what's so special about growing a garden, y'all, is the further you get into it, the more you get to see how it grows. Because some years in the first year it doesn't flower, like our bergamot over there. That bergamot didn't flower last year, so this year we're thinking it will. And then we have another strawberry plant there, and we have our thyme, another thyme from my niece's greenhouse garden at school. And then I don't know if you see these, y'all, but we planted in our green onions, or scallion. And then we have our arugulas. And then we have our garlic, and within our garlic what we did is we planted in some beetroots, and I also planted in some more of the green onion. And what else? I think that's it, y'all. That's it for now. We have our baby tomatoes that we started inside, and then I think I planted some more along there, but my goal is to not have a bunch of tomatoes, because y'all know how they grow in abundance, and I really want to make I would love to make like barbecue sauce and ketchup, and we love to use that in cooking. So yeah, that's the tour, guys. Thanks for being here. Alright guys, so that is the garden tour. It is early spring still, end of May. We haven't really had like a lot of warm days, so I think it was like the first week where it was warming up here in Ontario. And yeah, so I'll have to keep you updated on how the plants come along. Let me know what you're planting, and y'all, if I could just have a yard and plant my own vegetables and anything and raise chickens, cows, I would do it. But we're living in a world and an economy where it's almost like they don't want people to live that way. They make it very hard, especially with bylaws, especially with getting land. If you don't have land and you're a renter, yes, that's what we are. And we really do see how it is challenging, but we're not going to let it stop us. We are thankful for community garden spaces and to utilize our family's yard, but we do hope it changes throughout as we grow and as we become more in this field of this frequency of growing our own food and being connected to the land, that we get connected with the people in the right places so that we can achieve our goals to do this. Because yeah, you don't always need to have all of the money in the world to start. Just start with a community garden plot and plant some seeds, or even on a windowsill in your apartment, in your house, wherever you're living. If you have a little space where it gets some sun outside or inside, start there. And the more you work with the plants, the more you learn them, and the more you get familiar with the process, as we are doing. This is our 3rd year with these beds, and it's such a joy to watch what returns for like the perennials, and also starting again with seed. It is a beautiful reminder of life, you know, that the trees grow back each season. Thankful to Creator, you know, for allowing so. And that's what the power is. All right, much love.